How are you doing, Bodie?
I'm doing fantastic.
See, when you use
Doing
that
real.
word, fantastic, that means you have to live it too. So, I mean, my God, I mean, it's fun to be with somebody who lives the word fantastic.
Oh yeah, life is good. Life is good over here.
Man, when you say over here, we're still in LA, right?
Yeah, south of LA. I'm in Orange County.
Oh man. My daughter graduated from UCLA, and it's like I miss that area so bad.
Oh, it's good. Can't beat the weather.
So a lot of music has come from that region. I mean, we could sit here all day and talk about the bands and stuff like that. We could talk about Laurel Canyon and everything. What are you bringing into this moment of now as a way of preserving the sights and the sounds of California?
Oh gosh, what a excellent question. You're good at this. I would say the freshness of maybe the vibe of just living so freely and
Yep.
full of joy. Really just capturing just the excitement and the freshness of living by the beach and living free, I would say. That
I can relate with that because I always tell people that you got to go to California, and they say why? Because the moment you step off that airplane, you're accepted.
oh heck yeah. I love that. The even the freedom to just be unique and be who you are, I think is definitely a unique part of what makes, you know, California music its own.
And is that part of the reason why, with your songwriting and with your producing and things like that, that you're able to grow in areas that other people might say, oh, no, I don't want to reveal that much. But you have this unique way of really making it about others as well. It's like it's reaching through you to reach them.
Sure, yeah. I think it has to do a lot with my upbringing too, of just always being encouraged to be myself and use my story to encourage other people. But yeah, absolutely.
When you put yourself out there with stories, it reminds me of an interview I just heard from Taylor Swift. She goes, a lot of people think that I am this person that I write about, when in reality, I'm saying, what if I was that person? Do you put yourself in that position as well?
Absolutely. I think a lot of the time we can't always write a song that is 100% true to what we're going through, but we can always kind of create a narrative to help relate our music to other people.
What is it like to go from, I mean, I realize you've got this brilliant set of vocal cords and things like that, but you're also all about the sound that comes with it. To create that sound requires tools. How do you keep them sharpened and always moving forward?
I'm singing a lot.
Yeah.
I'm singing a lot. I'm practicing a lot. I sing at church, 1 to 3 times a week in front of lots of people. I'm, recording, writing. I teach at a university, so I'm just like anything. You got to keep, got to keep those knives sharp. Got to keep those vocal cords sharp. So just repetition, repetition, repetition.
My church is going to be out there in your city. My church is Elevation Worship, and they're traveling
Yeah.
the West Coast right now, dude.
Oh heck yeah, I love Elevation. That's awesome.
I mean, and you're in the way that spiritual music has grown forward. Don't you love how it's not just about the hymns anymore? It's about taking things that I learn more from worship music sometimes more than the preacher.
Oh heck yeah. The music just has the ability to permeate the soul and kind of prepare the heart for oftentimes the message. So, uh, oh yeah, I love modern contemporary church music. It's come so far, and obviously it's awesome to pay homage to the hymns and what's come before. But this new stuff is next level. It's
A-
really cool to be a part.
Absolutely, but why does it have to be 6 and 7 minutes long? You're there, so you got to tell me that answer.
Well, why does each song have to be 6 and 7 minutes long?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
your
because
ask?
I'm standing at Elevation Church going, holy God, I got to sit down, Lord, please, my legs are tired.
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know what God's doing these days, but apparently the songs of something warrants the songs being a little longer.
So, I mean, your family, music business, and worship band, those are three completely different personalities. How do you become one?
Oh gosh, and I'll add a fourth one. I make videos for that's a big part of my career as
There,
well as
another room in the house, the videos.
but it's all expression of my creativity, and it all comes down to I mean, aside from my family, but the things that I do to pay the bills, it's all expression of creativity, and it just comes back to the motivation being to serve my family, serve God, and serve my family. So I just kind of do wherever I'm put in my season of what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. I just do it gladly. And right now it's filmmaking, music making, worship making, and
Mm-hmm.
baby making apparently. 3 kids deep right now.
Well, Stephen Furtick said yesterday, he says, I gave all of me to God. He says that means all of you. And you just told me that. You give all of yourself to people.
Yep. All myself to God, and through that, he puts me in the position to, serve people and minister to people.
And don't you love that feeling when it reaches people? I mean, it's like I've been in radio in the Charlotte market for over 30 years, and people 25 years ago come up and say, dude, you said this on the air. I don't remember it, but they still do. You're planting seeds there, Bodie.
So cool. So cool. I'm honored to use my voice right now and my platform to do whatever I'm supposed to do. So I'm just kind of taking it day by day and speaking what's on my heart, and hopefully it encourages some people.
So you live in the presence of now then?
Absolutely. You have to.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. And there's a thing that I call it stream thinking. If you're not listening to the presence of now, how do you expect to grow with what? Because everybody's complaining about how fast life is going. Well, when you're in the living in the presence of now, there's still 24 hours you've got to deal with.
Totally. I had this incredible, oh my gosh, I had this incredible breakthrough moment, just personal breakthrough moment a couple weeks ago, and I was watching my kids and my wife. It was we just had friends over. They left the house, and it was kind of that, they had kids, we had kids. So, half with 5 people left the house, and all of a sudden it was just me and my family. And I was watching them play with my wife and just joke around. I'm sitting there on the couch, like watching the way my son smiles and how my daughter's, spinning around in her princess dress. And I started to weep. I don't cry often. I'm going to be honest. I don't cry. It was very out of character for me. I started weeping, and my wife's like, what the heck is going on? Are you okay? Like, is something wrong? And I just told her, I was like, I don't think I've been this present before.
Oh.
And I've just focused on my career and how living in Orange County, paying so much money to live in a little cardboard box out here, just so focused on being able to, do what provide for my family in the way that I believe they deserve. And in that moment, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I am so blessed. And obviously I was aware of that before. I am present to an extent, but I think in that moment I was like, this is what it looks like to just sit and just be so thankful for what's happening. I'm never ever going to see this exact moment again.
You're right. You're absolutely right. You are so spot on. Native Americans call that they call that the silent watcher. The wolf is the silent watcher, to sit in the underbrush and to watch what's going on. And it's such an important place to be in life.
Yeah, absolutely. That's good.
And you're right about your children growing up. Dude, I never thought I would have an 18-year-old granddaughter. I mean, it's like, how did this even happen? You were 3 years old singing in the back of my car.
Right. Oh, that's wild. Time. Where does it go?
And through writing, are you creating your own soundtrack? I'm a daily writer. I journal. So the music that you write, is that your journal, or do you keep a separate one?
Oh my gosh. Right now I'm really trying to navigate how I can write music that really exemplifies my story and my situation, but that is still digestible to the masses. Because I'm writing pop music, and pop music is typically very, in the best way, generic in the form of, it's usually about, from a male perspective, it's usually about a male female relationship. It's usually about a breakup, or, oh, this girl drives me crazy, or, oh, give me this one chance, I'll make it worth it. Like, that's typically kind of the concepts that pop focuses on. And I'm trying to figure out a way, how can I, like the story I just shared with you about being present and watching my kids grow up, like writing songs like that's not going to be on one side super corny and or tongue-in-cheek, but on the same side, like digestible to a 17-year-old high school girl who listens to my music. So I would, as much as I'd love to say all my songwriting is very much a direct, journal from my heart, a lot of the time it's not. So I'm trying to figure out, this is a very candid answer, but I'm trying to figure out a way to bridge the gap, because I think there needs to be more music exemplifying, like, a man who really loves and honors his wife and raises his kids that way. But have the music still be fun and digestible again for that 17-year-old high school girl. So I'm trying to figure that out right now. But I'd say more or less a lot of my music is a, kind of a journal from my heart, as you'd put it. But some of it is just direct narrative, made up narrative, because I'm still trying to figure out how to bridge that gap.
Go to a grocery store, get a job at a grocery store. And the reason why I say that is because during the lockdown, I was starving for people. And I kept asking God, you got to put me there. You got to put me where people are. And I thought he was going to put me deeper in the church. He put me at a grocery store. And in my heart, I heard, you wanted to be with community. Go be. Dude, the people are real. I cannot believe how funny people are. I'm a radio guy. We think people are listening. But when you're right there in front of real people, those 17-year-olds, those 80-year-olds, everybody has a story.
Wow, totally. That's wild.
And it's like I wish I would have had this before I got into radio because I thought I knew people. Do you feel the same way?
I think I was a worship pastor at a church for 5 years prior to this. Was back in 2015 to 2019, 2020, and that was really when I was, for lack of better words, kind of forced to really do my best to understand people in the ways of being able to, minister to them and serve them the best I could. So that was kind of my grocery store moment was working full time at a church, and it was all about people. But yeah, that totally makes sense. Oftentimes it's hard to really relate to people when we're so stuck in our bubble. There's so many different types of people and so many different ways to reach people and different personality types and demographics. So that's really interesting.
Well, and I'll tell you, it really showcases that a person of homelessness is a real person, and they've got stories too. And you know what? If something ever happened to this nation, I would go to them first because they know how to survive.
Wow, that's really true. Good point.
Bodie, you got to come back to this show anytime in the future. Dude, I love your story. I love your testimony. And I really think people need to really, really dive into what you're doing. Because I told my sister yesterday that I was going to be talking with you, and she just went all out crazy. And so if my sister believes that you are the superstar, then you are. You are.
That's so sweet. Thank you so much.
Well, man, you be brilliant today, okay?
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Thank you.